Hi, I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
I haven't recovered. We're watching episode 17.
She failed.
She failed. She failed. She failed. She failed. She failed. But then something else happened. She
and
didn't.
I don't think we know if she failed.
Well,
now
it's a different world line.
Different world line.
We have the numbers have changed.
We have the divergence meter being given to us at the end of the episode. Is there anything else that's going to be given to us? Was that a cliffhanger?
Unsure, but I hope that Suzuha's actions end up making an impact and for the better.
Mm-hmm.
I am fully on Team Kiyoma for saving the world.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss her.
I don't want Suzuha separating from these memories and the friends that she's made here and getting back inside that time machine alone to go back into a time that she's never been before where she has no one and to have failed and it all be in vain.
If we don't see Suzuha this week, I hope to see her next week. But without further ado, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Okay.
We're back to this? I don't know why I thought that we wouldn't have Mayuri die again narratively. Like, I don't know why. I just...
My emotional state is unwell.
Two hours.
Yep. Kurisu.
The parting lines are always so good and hard to hear.
Even when we hear them multiple times. Alright. Is it like a big RP?
Either that or it's someone who has a delusion that's obsessed with her.
Viral attackers. Yeah. So many hypotheticals.
How would she know if she doesn't even know what that life's like?
Okay. What?
What was that? Was she seeing glimpses of something?
Holy shit.
Oh my god! Like, it's like emotional imprints.
What the fuck?
Is this her butler?
What the fuck? I didn't know how fucking serious these oppositions were.
One of her attempts was giving it to a collector that happens to be Ferris's dad.
You can tell because she's not wearing the cat ears.
Daru would be pissed. And then he did. She made up the...
Holy shit.
If she made it up, who'd he give it to?
Holy shit.
Just making sure she says I love you.
Good catch. Great darkness.
As lovers together in a past life.
Wasn't at the shrine. Until last year. Okay, that was episode 17 of Steins Gate. I feel like every episode that we've watched has been like in the past, I don't know, whatever. Like every episode we've watched recently has been so good, and the last two have been so good, but so fucking like heart wrenching.
I remember right after Ferris had first sent that D-mail and we saw how their surroundings changed. And we saw almost like getting further away from even getting the IBN to begin with. Like it definitely wouldn't be there anymore. Or we're just further from we're getting further from the original world with that D-mail. And I remember thinking at that time, wow, well, I don't know what it would have been. I don't know what Ferris did. I don't know what Ferris asked for in her D-mail. But obviously it was something really important. And I was already thinking with Ruka from the episode like before that, the emotional weight of undoing something that a friend of yours that you care about desires most in this world. Obviously what Ferris, now we know, especially we know what it is, and Ruka changed something that was their biggest desire in their life. And I was thinking at that time, oh, well, to even wish to switch world lines is that could possibly change those factors, while knowing that that's what your friends wanted most in this world is like playing with, you know, undoing what they most want and possibly leaving them in a life that they feel unhappy in. But to go to this layer of actually undoing the messages themselves and not just skipping around world lines to where scenarios might be slightly different.
Dude, I imagine like being Kiyoma. Like you're trying to save your friend.
Mm-hmm.
You're losing people. You're alone. You're trying to untie these past knots that you made to try to help people. And God, I don't know. Like trying to imagine like how he's going on too. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
I don't think I had realized until this episode that skipping world lines, there's still factors that stay the same, which is the D-mails that were like the chosen decisions. I hadn't realized that, and I think it kind of like got solidified for me. I mean, there's so much like thinking that's going on with this show and so many switching up and different world lines, and it can get a little bit like a lot in your brain. And so I didn't realize that once you sent that D-mail, those things across any of the world lines would be that way unless you went back and directly affected it and directly undid it, had them send a text message right after like Ferris did in this. And I am incredibly scared now. Like, this was hard. This episode was hard. But I almost feel like there is a harder boss with the D-mail that is probably the next one that would have to be changed.
Yeah.
And honestly, both plot-wise and in order of events, it seems like it's going to have to be Ruka. I mean, if we end this episode off with Kiyoma Okabe at the shrine finding out that someone came and got it a year before, then Ruka alone, just being a lab member or someone that sent a D-mail, you would want to affect that life and whatever D-mail that was because it's directly related to the shrine that was the place that Ferris dropped off the IBN at.
Who? Is it Kurisu? Like, who is the person who is moving it? Like,
who took it from the shrine last year?
Who offered so much money for it at a specific place? Like there are only so many people, like, granted, for the sake of the speculation, assuming it's the same person who did both, who would know each place it would be? Like, Moeka, Kurisu, I don't know. Those wouldn't be it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm kind of like an emotional wreck right now. The dad stuff really hit me. I didn't like starting out this episode. I was like, oh yay, and then we kept seeing Upa, the fucking silver figurine from like episode 1, and I was like, oh, that's a cute callback. And then it's like, then I was in like this total fucking like Candyland world, being like, oh, Ferris, they're role playing, they're after her. They're gonna get some award.
See,
for
doubt
like.
When you said roleplay, I went through this roller coaster for multiple things in this episode of going, oh yeah, it's a role playing game. To no, these people are actually like chasing after her and they're like crazy, and then back and forth.
Seeing Kiyoma risking his life to protect her and getting the absolute shit kicked out of him by these fucking dumbasses, and the one dude pulls a knife on him, and then like, God, there's everything happened in such quick succession too. Like I not in a million years would I have thought Ferris would ever begin to remember.
Oh, I never, especially because we have, and Suzuha even says. The Shiner,
Shining Finger,
Shining Finger's Moeka.
Reiner, what do you call it?
I'm blanking on it.
Keep going.
But Suzuha even says the code name for it to Okabe, probably in last episode, and I had just never thought that it was even in the realm of possibility that while they would ever retain their memories going across world lines other than him, or they would ever be able to awaken memories just by going to a place which I would view would have emotional imprints to them. It's almost
reading Steiner.
Yeah. It's almost like having a past life, which is really cute when Ferris is like, we fought darkness together as lovers in a past life. Because to her, that is what it feels like. It was a dream life. It was a past life. It was some other version of herself. And really it was. Just one where her dad was alive.
Like, the idea of him dying and what she said to him before he died. And then, like how you pointed out, in her sending that other D-mail being like, it was a joke, I love you, to slightly change it, right? Like, he's still going to die, but we hope that at least he got to see that the last thing she said to her instead of what she did say was, I love you.
Mm-hmm. And she gets to have that. She doesn't have to live with knowing that the last thing that she said to her dad is that not only I hate you, but I wish you would die. Yeah. And so this Ferris that we're meeting at the end here feels like she is living her real self, her authentic self, because this was the original her, before the D-mail. Everything that she did that ended up causing her dad's death, or that not caused his death, but he died, and everything after that is all authentic. Like the real Ferris, that's how her path was. Yeah. And everything other than that felt like a dream to her. We get this really great line of, it's time for me to wake up from this dream. And so the Ferris that we get at the end is almost like a Ferris that's living her authentic self, but with like this happy little part of her that knows that she got to tell her dad, I love you. Like almost like she got to fix a little thing.
But she doesn't have memory of that.
But she says to him that we fought darkness together as lovers in a past life, which leads me to believe that that's her. But it can also be played off well in a group of other people, that it's just one of her like characterizations and fun lines.
Like, remember when she was talking about like how her like memories were blending together, and she didn't think she could like take that? I don't think, like, it seems, or at least, like, I'm probably off base, but it seems like anybody who isn't Kiyoma, who is able to access that more than one world line idea and memory, would probably go crazy.
I thought she had said that she didn't think she could deal with more of it. Like, more changes.
I thought it was, like, more time with it.
More time in the life that she had been in there. I don't think she meant, like, more time having possession of these memories. I think she meant more time living in a life that she knew wasn't what was meant to happen.
I don't think I'll be able to tell which is real for much longer.
So, which is why she needs to pick one and go with it.
Like, I think that she wasn't able to tell what was real for much longer because she had two lives living, like, trying to differentiate in her brain.
So she needed one to be picked soon.
But I think that if she wasn't reminded of that past life, that she wouldn't have had to, like, she wouldn't have felt this way, you know? It's that knowledge of multiple world lines.
But it's not like he did much to remind her. It's not like it was hard for her to access those memories. All he had to do at first was just say the name May Queen to her, basically.
Yeah.
Which is something that she has inside of her own mind that she never told anyone. And then she sees flashes of the signs outside of May Queen. Which
is, like, something that should never have happened, right? It's like, it's not so easy that she's being given this that is, like, causing this, like, the memories to blend over. It's something that would have never happened unless something that came out of a, like a reading Steiner would...
I know, but it also seems like such a little key in order to unlock something so big. Like, it doesn't seem like it was very well protected with lots of walls to keep it in the back of her mind. It seems like there was a very fine layer between I mean, that could be true, is that all the layers of all the world lines have a very thin wall between them.
But it's like, sure, it's a thin wall, but it's like nobody in a billion years would ever have a chance at breaking that wall. Like,
unless someone came back and said something
and had
to you.
and had the knowledge that existed in a different world line.
I don't know, because what if she went in this place? You know, even if he hadn't said May Queen to her, she just went into a building, you know, and felt something. So
but she went into the building and felt something after
being instigated, after the first awakening.
Yeah.
So you don't think maybe? I mean,
I think if she just wandered into the May Queen, she would not have just felt the world lines.
Not had like a dream about it. Not had been in there and been like, I feel like I've been here before. Any like deja vu feelings?
I don't think it would be anything comparable. But again, we're just trying to understand it. I
don't think it's gonna be something that never happens again with a character though.
Yeah.
After we've gotten it here.
I loved that Ferris, when they came back into the room with Kiyoma, was going by Rumiho. And that it was like cat ears off, character off, like it just felt so real. And I also loved that we got the reveal that Suzuha managed to get the IBN 5100 to Ferris's dad. And like she did succeed in her own right. And that was really, really awesome to hear.
And it's so interesting that like she succeeded and all it took was Ferris as a child sending a text message to her dad
that she was
being kidnapped.
Yeah. So in that scenario, she's being kidnapped, and at the same time, somebody is offering an exuberant amount of money to her dad for the IBN 5100. Now, that didn't happen, but the IBN 5100 was mysteriously taken the year before. Who the fuck? Is it the same person? Is it CERN? Is it somebody we know? Is it just coincidence? Is it just unlucky? Like,
I am so curious of who it is. I almost feel like it has to be someone who has possibly been involved this whole time. And that's why Moeka feels so safe to go with in terms of guessing. Or Kurisu.
Yeah.
Or an older version of Kurisu. I mean, come on. She's probably still alive in that future that... Or maybe she's not, but I don't know. She might still be alive in the future that Suzuha was in.
Is it any chance that it's somebody else who has, like, access to D-mail? Because once you physically time travel back and you can't go forward, then it would be like racing each other with the use of D-mail to try to get to it first.
Do you think that Moeka on her phone has some type of way of knowing if the world line changes, just like the divergence meter?
Maybe. Do you think Moeka knows that she'll never be able to go back to the future? If she is from the future?
I don't know. I don't even know if she's from the future or if she's just being like
I feel like information overload.
Now. Yeah, I know. But I am curious if Moeka had some form of divergence meter, then it could be that as soon as she realizes the world line changed, because she's hooked to her phone, she would go to the places she knows that the IBN has been before and see if it's there to see if she can get it first. Because she's been looking for it. When we first meet her, she's looking for it and wondering where it is.
Yeah.
So it does make me wonder if she has some way of knowing the world line changed, therefore she, before Okabe is able to get to all those places, goes to all those places to like see if she can get it.
Yeah. I just keep thinking about how Ferris was like given the information that, yeah, you saved your dad, but that could have potentially led to one of your friends being killed. And like trying to weigh those two things and still being able to come out with the decision that she made. Like
that it's obvious to us, at least as the audience, that if Okabe does not get the IBN, the chances of us finding that 1% where we could actually save Mayuri's life and it's not some fated event that's always going to happen. I think this was really awesome and really heartbreaking of an episode, and I am terrified for us feeling like, obviously now we have to go undo another D-mail, and I am terrified for the emotions I'm going to feel when it is Ruka.
Yeah. Remember in episode like 1 and 2 when we were getting the messages and like the sender at JTK 93, whatever, that whole thing? Like, how far are we really going to go back in terms of D-mail? Like that, like that's just like I think that my brain would like to think, oh, after we're getting closer and closer after next change, we might get the IBN 5100 back, but maybe that's only like one point, you know?
I guess in my theorizing or feeling right now, I'm feeling like we have to undo everything that has been done, get back to that original world line that we had been in, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Without affecting the past. Because I think what Okabe has learned all this time is that it is not the past that he should be affecting anymore. It is what happens in the future, what happens in the now that will control what happens in the future is what is important. And I think that all of this kind of playing with the past, that obviously when we get those lines from Kurisu on the slide where she's like, there's nothing about myself that I would feel like needs to be changed because it's made me who I am. I feel like that's also how Mayuri feels. And I feel like once Okabe resets everything, he'll be like, yeah, this isn't a toy for us to play with to make our lives be the way that we want it to be. We're supposed to be saving the world.
Yeah.
And the future.
I have a question for you that I think might be interesting, or not at all, just for how far we've come in the series. Who would stab Kurisu in that first episode?
Suzuha. That literally just came to my mind as soon as you asked that. What if one of Suzuha's attempts in one of the world lines was to nip something at the source? If she knows that Kurisu inevitably joins CERN and ends up, creating the downfall for society and the future that she's seen, what if in one of the world lines she just decides to kill her before she can do that?
Do you think that Kiyoma would ever kill Kurisu in order to save Mayuri? If he felt like Kurisu was the reason that... No?
I think he would try, even if he had to infinitely live in this limbo of going back and forth until he went crazy, I think he would live to find a way where he wouldn't have to, sacrifice any of his friends, any of the lab members, in order to save her.
Yeah. All right, that's all I have. My brain's dead and I'm sad.
It's very fair.
I think this show is gonna be a happy, and I don't want to like make it like a black or a white or like a blanket statement, but like the general like idea or vibe of or feeling of this show ever ending or coming to an end, like part of me feels like it might be inevitable that it's going to be a bittersweet ending.
Mm-hmm.
But then like I would love for everyone to just be happy and together and nothing be wrong, but like the journey that it's taking to potentially get there even is so dark.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right with the bittersweet. Like, I don't think it's ever going to be completely sweet with us knowing that the Suzuha that we knew, that all of them got to know and grow up with, can never join in any of this or even get back to the future and witness the beauty of what they've done. Obviously, in her new life, if Daru still marries Suzuha's mom and they end up having her, that'll be a different story, but that's a different version of her. And so that is bittersweet. But the other thing is, now we've gone through all of these complexities of what people wish they could change about their lives, and heavy weighted things like not feeling like you were born who you should be or how you should look, and also like saving your dad's life. We'll know, by the end, like, we're never gonna forget that. Okabe's never gonna forget.
I don't know
that
how
the people in his lives, like, there are massive things about them that he, at the touch of a button, could change to make them feel better, but could never actually do that for them.
I don't know how Kiyoma is as sane as he is right now. He's running by like pure just momentum,
adrenaline,
right?
At this point. He needs a nap, but he can't have a nap. It's like he's been awake for like 2 weeks straight.
The end of the show, wherever it ends, if Kiyoma is alive, like I'd imagine that he'd have a lot to come to terms with.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just like act like the memories didn't happen, because they did in another world line.
He knows intimate knowledge now about so many of these people and things that they wish that they could change about themselves, and what they were like in different worlds when different things were happening. He has all of this intimate knowledge of everyone. That will he ever be able to feel like he can have a proper connection again with any of these integral main cast people?
It's a good question. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.